Good morning and welcome to the Three Ball Podcast. We're just three dudes talking all about college basketball. And guys, today is a special day in college basketball because it is Bubble Day.
Bubble Day.
It is Bubble Day, and we are ready. We are prepared for Bubble Day, and we cannot be more excited to welcome teams into March Madness, into the NCAA tournament.
And out.
And out.
And out. So, guys, today, what I need to talk about is we have to talk about bubble teams, teams that are in, teams that are out, and every time they're out, we're going to pop our bubble wrap.
Yeah.
We got bubble wrap here.
Stanford.
We got double bubble.
Yep.
We got bubbles themselves.
We got everything you need.
Ready for Bubble Day, and I can't wait to talk about the bubble and conference tournaments on today's episode. This is the Three Ball.
Let's roll.
A three. Good! You can't be serious with that shot.
And guys, I cannot think of a more impactful bubble game than what just happened to Mid-Major Michael's favorite team ever. Guys, I have been getting texts from family members that that Mid-Major Michael is going to be upset because of what just happened to America's darling, Miami, Ohio. Tell us about it, Michael.
So Miami, Ohio played another close game.
Shocker.
And usually after that, I respond with, and they won. However, this time, for the first time all season, Miami, Ohio lost a game.
Wow.
87-83 against the 8th seed in the conference tournament, UMass.
The Minutemen.
And I mean, again, guys, I picked Quad 4 Minutemen.
Just like Lexington. Lexington and Concord.
Storm the troops. Miami has lost.
Quad 4 loss for the British.
Oh, my gosh. That's a good one. I like that. But again, I picked Miami, Ohio to not win this tournament. I did pick Akron, but I did not expect them to lose to UMass of all teams. Crazy loss. And Miami actually had a really good shot at winning this game. This game was back and forth. But then Luke Skaljak just threw the ball to a UMass defender. And that was just, I was like, no, that was so disappointing.
Come on.
But I do think, I'm kind of glad that not glad they lost this game. I wanted them to complete the perfect season.
Oh, yeah.
However, I do think this is a perfect way to start the bubble episode because I think that it opens up a very interesting conversation of should they be in, will they be in? And personally, I think this team's in. I think this team's not even in Dayton. I think this team is a 10 seed. Yes. We've made this argument so much. I think a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, are they going to be left out? Are they going to be in? And maybe they will be left out. I think that would be an absolute devastating
travesty
to the sport of college basketball.
Only person in America to be happy is Bruce Pearl.
That's it. But honestly, I've said this a few times. I don't think that the committee takes conference tournaments into account as much as we do. They do take it into account, not as much as we do as a population of fans, as people talking about the sport. So I think Miami, Ohio, going into this tournament was in. I think they're still in. I think they're a lock. But again, I think it's a very interesting conversation, and I am excited to see if they get in. But yeah, the crazy outcome to this game that they lost in the first game of the conference tournament. I think it's again, but analytically they are out, which is interesting to talk about.
Absolutely. And guys, I feel like to fully understand the bubble and the intricacies of it and all the things that affect it, we have to talk about conference tournaments first. Because these are the things that are going to decide if teams like Texas, Oklahoma, SMU, Indiana, etc., are in the NCAA tournament or out.
Or popped.
And if you don't know what the bubble is, if you're a very new not SMU fan, if you're a very new college basketball fan, what the bubble is, it is about maybe 16 teams, basically 8, that are on one side of making the tournament or not. And if you are bubble in, you're in the tournament, and that is huge news. If you're bubble out, better luck next year. So every time we talk about the bubble, that's the terminology that we are going to be using to cover all of this. And there's no better way to start covering bubble in, bubble out than with mid-majors. Because mid-major conference tournaments decide basically all of the bubble because of bid stealers. And bid stealers are teams that typically aren't in the tournament.
Uh-huh.
But if they win, they get an automatic bid and knock teams that are in the bubble out.
Basketball 101 with Adam Harper.
Yes, absolutely. Just to get a little overview
yeah,
for
that's
all
good.
of our college
Yes.
basketball listeners
That was
who are
great.
kind of new.
That was great.
So, guys, let's talk about the mid-majors.
Yes.
Yep.
First, Michael, that's your category.
Yep.
This team isn't really a mid-major,
Yeah.
They are
but
the
let's talk
major.
about them.
Yeah, so the first thing we're going to start with is Gonzaga. And like you said, mid-major conference, but not a mid-major team. They're going to be about 3 seed. I think that's what the projection is right now. But the big thing about that conference tournament is they beat Santa Clara
Yeah.
in the conference championship. And Santa Clara would have been potentially bid stiller. Maybe they'll still be in. There's a lot of debate on where they're at in the bubble right now. I think Lenardi has them last 4 buys.
That St. Mary's win was huge.
That St.
Huge.
Mary's win was huge, but I think it'll be interesting to see what the committee does to that Santa Clara
agree.
team because resume-wise, they're not necessarily head and shoulders above an SMU, above a team like even you can argue Oklahoma, Texas, etc. So I think that was a huge loss for Santa Clara, where it's like if they'd won that, they would 100% be in the tournament.
Been a lot.
They could have been potentially a bid stiller. Maybe they'll still be in. We'll see. But yeah, Gonzaga, like I said, they won this tournament. They're a very good team, but they're not the Gonzaga of old. So I think it'll be interesting to see.
A 14 seed.
Yep.
It's going to be very fun to watch.
Yes,
against
yes,
Gonzaga.
yeah. oh,
The 3 line's
definitely will
interesting.
be.
It'll be them and Purdue.
The 3 line is really weird this year, but going on to the next.
I don't think Purdue's on
Purdue
the
has
bubble.
Yeah, Purdue is definitely not on the bubble.
I did not mean to do that.
West Lafayette is shaking right now.
But that was definitely the most interesting bid that we've had so far as bubble talk. But we have I believe 5 others that have sealed their bid to
Yeah.
March since we last talked, which is Wright State, which in the
No.
Horizon League,
Not
which
Detroit
will be-
Mercy.
not Detroit Mercy. They'll be a 15 seed, so they're a fun team. But again, 15 seeds are 15 seeds.
Yeah, they got to get some.
You got Siena, who will be a 15 seed.
Shout out.
Lehigh, who I was really disappointed they won the Patriot League because Boston University was my sleeper for that league.
Dang, you were
they had
close.
such a fun offense.
You were close.
And they hate our military.
Yeah,
They beat Navy.
they did beat Navy. But Lehigh's going to be a 16 seed, so again, they'll probably be in Dayton for the 16. So
Lehigh
different
Duke.
kind of bubble.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Idaho won Starch Madness.
Yeah.
Which is,
Starch Madness.
we have Arch Madness, now we have Starch Madness.
And we got ladder
And,
brackets.
yeah.
Oh
But-
my gosh.
And
Yeah.
the sucks about mid majors is that I love when they get creative, right?
Yeah.
The Horizon League got rid of their shaving cream mascot.
Oh, that's sad.
He was about 18
Yeah.
feet tall, running
Yeah.
baseline to baseline, entertaining the 50 people there. But I was into it, and so
that's
that kind of
amazing.
sucks.
Yeah, but it was big for Idaho. Congrats to them because Montana and Montana State have been running that
Yes, they
conference.
have.
So it's fun to have a new team in, but again, they'll be a 16 seed.
it's the first time Idaho's dancing since 1990.
Yep,
Wow,
that's
congratulations,
huge.
Idaho.
But then the last big bid we had was McNeese knocking off SFA in the Southland Conference, winning that tournament. That was disappointing to me because
It
I
was.
love this SFA team.
Yeah.
They're not on the bubble. They won't be making the tournament.
No.
McNeese will probably be around. Yeah. I
They're
don't even
not
know if
on
that's
the
a
bubble.
I don't even know if that's a bubble pop.
Nah.
They were a
but
favorite, though.
Yeah, they were the
Favorite.
favorite to win
you
that.
Can,
so
you can make an argument 1 seed's losing as a pop.
yeah, I mean they popped out of the tournament. So
Oh, yeah. That's true.
But I mean, McNeese now they're gonna be I think a 12 or 13 seed. I think right now they're kind of on that borderline.
Yeah.
So we'll see where they end up. They're a good team, but I would have loved to see the SFA team.
I
in the
would have too.
tournament.
Local
But-
teams.
But yeah, so I mean those are the bids that we have as of last time we talked. I mean, there's gonna be some more punch the next couple days, and then
yeah.
we get the bracket on Sunday.
Which is
so-
sick. 2 days.
It's
away
coming up
from
soon.
a bracket.
which is very exciting.
Yeah.
Now,
And-
McNeese, one quick question. They don't have Will Wade anymore.
No, they
but
do not.
Are they any similar to what they were when they beat Clemson last year?
Not really, no.
Okay.
I mean, kind of, but no. As
Not
far
a
as
lot.
tempo and
that
style,
makes
no.
sense because the head coach
And
is gone.
completely different roster.
Yeah,
Yeah, different style.
makes sense.
But
Gotcha.
Figured Michael would know if anybody would know.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
honestly, I like them more this year. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh.
But
Well, there
I
you
did
go.
last
And they
year.
won a game in the tournament
Yeah.
last year. So
it's because they're under the radar this year.
Yeah, and yeah.
that is true.
Yeah. And now we have to cover the other conference tournaments and their impact on the bubble as a whole because there are some major losses
Yeah.
in the Big Ten, the ACC, the SEC,
Big
all of
East.
these teams. It's insane.
Yeah.
Just straight up. College basketball is crazy right now.
It is.
It's hard to keep up, but we got
chaos.
you. And David is going to do a deep dive into 3 of those conferences right now.
Yeah, let's do
David,
it. Starting the
Bubble
Big
top.
12. Guys, breaking news, the LED cord is gone.
No.
I was hoping some
Good.
random frat dude just hijacked their system and would color on it during the game. Can you imagine some like computer science major like figured that out
would
and
be
just start
crazy.
writing random like messages on the court
Play
during
like
the
a
game?
YouTube video.
Oh, that would have been the funniest thing ever. But no. But like I said earlier, it seemed like a little kid just like decided, let's just make a court.
Yeah.
And how can we keep kids entertained?
It sounds like a good idea.
And I
but
get one and dones are
yeah.
like 15 years old at this point, but they're not the kids we're talking about.
Yeah.
So
It's like
good
Subway
for them.
Surfers.
Shout out to the commissioner for actually like, I know he's getting a lot of hate for doing it, but like he's gutsy enough to actually switch.
He listened,
Yeah.
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 So,
which
which
is
is
good.
huge, and we don't need any injuries. And so, I mean, we have 4 national championship contenders still left in Kansas, Iowa State, Houston, and Arizona.
Yep.
So, like, these are major teams with major implications, and they lose a dude on an LED floor.
Well, I mean, like Christian Anderson, I don't know what the update is, but I mean,
Yeah,
he had a
groin.
groin injury, so we don't know what the extent of that's going to be.
Hurting your groin hurts. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not good. And so, it will be interesting. But, like, to be honest with you, we've had a lot of chalk in that tournament, but the craziest game in that tournament so far was by far UCF Cincinnati.
And that had the most bubble.
And it had the most
implication.
bubble implication
did.
too, and it's a sad way if West Miller that's how they go out. But Cincinnati is popped
They're done.
for sure. They were trying to make a rise, and to be honest with you, if you would have told me before the week who would have made a rise, Cincinnati or Oklahoma, I think all 3 of us would have said
Oh
Cincinnati.
yeah, definitely.
But that's just March. There's no
Yep.
way to predict it. And so Cincinnati is probably in the search for a new coach and who's going to hit the portal and probably not going to take an NIT bid. But it is sad to see they had so much talent and their defense was good. And it was a fun ride in the year, but up and down and up and down. It's kind of how the whole West Miller era was. So we'll see what they do. And shout out Johnny Dawkins getting UCF in the tournament. I have researched they have probably the lowest NIL in the whole conference.
Really?
And so this is a heck of a coaching job for him. And he's done amazing. And so shout out to him getting the most out of that roster. A very Brad Brownell type coaching year.
Yeah.
And so shout out to him and UCF making the tournament. And
Yes.
they've only won one tournament game in program history. So maybe they'll win
See if
again
they
this
can
year.
do too.
No, so this team, I mean, this team wasn't on the bubble. They're not going to make the tournament. They're out of the conference tournament. But Kansas State, we just found out yesterday that they
Oh,
have
yeah.
a new coach.
They do.
In Casey Alexander,
Belmont.
who was at Belmont.
So,
Our
that's-
favorite mid-major.
Yeah,
That'll be
so
fascinating
that's
to
gonna be
see some
interesting
roster
to
turnover.
See what happens there.
he's won 20
Going
straight
to a high
games in
major.
10 straight years. The
Yeah.
Belmont coach. So he wins.
But big news for the Big 12.
Big
at
news for the
least.
Big 12. No more Jerome Tang dancing in the crowd.
No more Jerome Tang.
That'll be interesting. I bet he goes back to Baylor as an assistant. But we're not talking about Jerome Tang or Kansas State today. Let's get back to the Big 12, though. Iowa State, they continue to dominate this tournament.
Yeah.
They have they beat Arizona by Arizona State by almost 50, sent their coach into retirement. And then they turn around and beat Texas Tech by about 25. Something with them in the Big 12 tournament. They just dominate every year.
They're so good.
Every year. They've won there was like a 18 game spread cover sheet, and we don't talk about spreads, but that's impressive. And then Kansas and TCU was a great nightcap. Okay, Kansas, Darren Peterson, he had a good game, and Floyd Badunga in the first half, they had a lead, and get this, they were minus 15 in his minutes off the court. Like that's how valuable he is defensively to them. I mean, he's the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, so like it makes sense, but. It'll be interesting. That conference as a whole is great, but this conference is whack. Let's go to the Big East, okay? The Big East is crazy. I just want to start with Georgetown. They're the lowest team, and they're in the semifinals.
Yep.
So shout out to them. Shout out to Ed Cooley. They made Villanova look pretty light on the glass. They dominated
that
the
was
boys.
did.
that was my pick to win.
Yeah,
Well, your pick is out.
that's
so
okay.
It's okay. Devin Askew went for 3 for 13 and ended his
Yep.
night with an air ball. So
Unfortunate.
yeah.
They're still in the tournament, though.
Yeah, it
so.
is it. But shout out to the Big East overall. I just got to give some love to John Fanta and Gus Johnson and Raph. That's like some of the best announcers in the sport. And John Fanta hypes up the Big East tournament better than anybody I know on earth. So shout out to them. And even though it might not have like the biggest like resumes as it does this year, Seton Hall, they're 2 wins away from the tournament. Georgetown's 2 wins away from the tournament. We got chaos, and that's what you
Yep.
want on a Friday
Yep.
night in Madison Square Garden.
That is
and that's
true.
what we got. And we also got the Connecticut and St. John's. Like, what more could you want? Like, that tournament always delivers, no matter who or what is the state of the conference.
But I mean, Georgetown and Seton Hall would both be bid
Bid
stealers,
stealers,
so
which would be bad for
yeah,
the
that'd
bubble.
be bad for the bubble.
It would cause a lot of pop.
Yep.
But, yeah, no, that's okay. Georgetown, I think low-key, not low-key. Georgetown probably has the harder matchup. Seton Hall
Yeah.
just played St. John's a week
Yeah.
ago, and it was relatively close. Seton Hall's got to actually make shot. We'll see if that happens. But
Yeah.
they're just not fun to watch.
They never are.
But let's go to the SEC now. Nashville's been crazy as well, and we got to start with Oklahoma. They've come
The
out
hottest team in basketball right
America
now.
right now. If guys, Oklahoma versus Florida State on a neutral court, who wins?
Ooh. Adam, who you got?
I think I'd probably still say Florida State.
Right now, I think right now it would be Florida State.
But like those
Okay.
are the
We'll
two
talk about them
hottest
later.
teams in the
Yeah.
country, and that just popped in my head. So
Yeah.
impulse thoughts.
That
won.
would be a fun
That
game.
Yes,
would
it
be a
would.
fun
I would rather
game.
watch that than 90% of the tournament
put
games.
them in the first four.
Yeah, literally.
That would be awesome. But back to Oklahoma, they've had wins over South Carolina, and they hammered A&M last night, and so they are officially the first team out in Lenardi's bubble projection. So it'll be interesting to see. They have a ginormous game against Arkansas today.
Yeah, they do.
That's probably the biggest bubble game. Them and VCU's games are probably
Yeah.
the biggest bubble games
If
left.
they lose,
Yeah, them and VCU too. Both of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Both of them
Yeah,
lose.
definitely.
But let's try and stay on topic, David, in the SEC. Let's talk about Ole Miss. They're hotter than fish grease too, and they're another example of they'd be a bid stealer too.
Oh, yeah.
They got Alabama today, so that'll be interesting. I admit about 800 points combined in that game. And then it's crazy because we got A&M and Missouri as one and dones, but are probably safe. Texas is also a one and done, but they're hovering on the bubble.
Yep.
And then Kentucky.
I just wanted to do that.
And then Kentucky is interesting. They've got a ginormous game today, too. They play
Yep.
Florida. And this
Yep.
is the definition of a seed improvement game.
Yes,
If they beat
absolutely.
Florida, they could jump one, maybe even two seeds.
Yeah.
And they don't. It doesn't really hurt because they already
Yeah.
beat LSU and Missouri. So they've had a good week. And
They
so Florida's just would be the icing on the cake. And so these three tournaments, guys, some chalk, some not, and that's just what March is about.
Yep.
Like, no one thought Georgetown would still be alive. No one thought Seton Hall would actually make shots. And so we're sitting here thinking like, dang, Oklahoma might actually be the hottest team on earth. And Florida State had a real shot to beat Duke, but this
Yeah.
is March.
This
And
is
like,
March,
Yep.
baby.
that's what I'm saying. And like, speaking of Florida State, all right,
Guys,
Adam,
we get to talk about the ACC
Yeah, we do.
tournament right
which is
now.
great.
And it has been chaos specifically for the bubble. I'm just going to cover those games really quickly.
It is the bubble conference.
Yes, Virginia Tech was on the bubble, lost to Wake Forest. So they are officially popped. There's no way for Virginia Tech to make the tournament anymore.
That's a
and
bummer.
we
Poor Mike
have
Young.
other bubble teams like SMU, who beats Syracuse but loses a very close game
Yep.
to Louisville.
Louisville.
And we will see if SMU, they are currently the second team in the
In.
bubble
Yep.
right now.
It's close.
So we will see what happens. But we had other teams like Cal lose to Florida State. They are out.
Gone.
And officially, the ACC has no more bid stealers.
No
Yep.
more.
Yep.
The only
It's-
teams left are Virginia,
Lock.
Miami,
Lock.
Duke,
Lock.
Clemson.
Lock.
Yep.
Those are the only teams left because Florida State took Duke to the wire.
They did.
Florida
They
State would've won
said it.
79 to 80 loss from Florida State. And I mean, that shows me a lot about Duke, their resilience, missing two of their best players.
Uh-huh.
But that shows me a lot about Florida State too. But
Yeah.
they were the last team to possibly get a bid. So ACC's done.
Yeah.
It's all locked in. We will see what happens to SMU, who is
Yep.
the only real true ACC team that's on that bubble.
Yeah.
And
Florida State, man. Oh,
that was a great
Yeah.
story.
was.
I think that they could win the crown. I mean, like, I
bro,
think they
good
should
for them.
accept it.
Get some
Yeah, good
NIL
for
money
them.
Yeah.
because they have a lot of
honestly.
seniors they're losing. They need a
Yeah.
roster next year. And hey, boosters at Florida State, buy into Luke Laux. He's great.
Luke Laux is a fantastic coach.
Fantastic coach.
Yes, absolutely. But the real chaos has come from this Big Ten.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The first bubble game we need to talk about, huge upset. Northwestern, the 15 seed,
Yep.
beating Indiana.
Gone.
They're done.
Gone.
They're done.
Indiana is completely eliminated. Shout out Luke Martinelli.
Yeah,
Yep.
Nick Martinelli.
Nick, no, that's what
Close
I meant.
enough.
Yeah.
Nick Martinelli.
Average name.
Yeah.
Nick Martinelli is great, guys.
He
I'll
is
just go
great.
on a tangent real
Yes.
quick.
Yeah.
Okay. He was committed to Elon, but Elon fired their coach and basically took away his scholarship.
That's crazy.
And then Chris Collins at Northwestern basically was like, I'm going to give you a shot. It was his only Power 5 offer.
Wow.
And he went from freshman year averaging 2 points on the really
Yep.
good Boo Booey Brooks Barnheiser team to now back-to-back years leading scorer in the Big Ten. and he's going to get drafted in the first round probably, and he's going to get a statue at Northwestern, and I guarantee you he had offers to leave, and he got to graduate from Northwestern.
That's what
which will
loyalty
probably
is.
help.
Yeah.
Which will probably help out. And
Oh, yeah.
I just want to shout him out, and I want to shout out Bruce Thornton for staying at their schools, getting a real senior night. He's just so underrated. Like Nick Martinelli, you just got to watch him play. He's
Yeah.
the dude that's going to be playing at the YMCA till he's 85 and still dominating. Like, he's got that type of game, and it's great. And it's great for America to see a dude stay 4 years out of school, be loved by everyone in that community, and think, yeah, my freshman year sucked. It did. I averaged 2 points. 2 points. But I'm not going to leave. I'm going to write it out. And I'm going to lead the Big Ten in scoring in
Respect.
back-to-back years.
Respect.
Much respect to Nick Martinelli. And Northwestern, it'll be sad. It's the end of an era for them,
It is.
kind of.
Yep.
Boo
Truly
Booey,
is.
Ryan Langborg, Martinelli, Brooks Barnheiser. They've had a good run. But I'm sure they'll get some NIL money or
Yeah.
something, get it back right.
But luckily, it is the end of an era for them. But they ended Indiana's era.
Yeah,
of
they
making
did.
The tournament,
Yep.
and that is great for bubble teams like SMU, like
Yes.
Texas, like VCU.
You know who's really going to be happy is Kurt Signetti. He going to get some more money.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
no more,
true.
no more basketball money.
But I mean, guys, this Big Ten tournament,
Yep.
just a little bit, has been very, very interesting so far.
Yeah.
We have Ohio State, who's they beat Iowa, who was my sleeper to win.
Dude, Ohio State.
They look pretty good right
Yeah,
now.
they're playing
and
against Michigan
they play
right now.
Michigan in a what's the score?
It's 20-11 with 11 minutes
And
left
Michigan's
in the,
gonna win.
in the
And-
first half.
But I will
I
say
mean,
this. I will say this about Ohio State.
Michigan's winning 22-11.
okay, so-
Yes.
I will say this about Ohio State. 2 weeks ago, they had no quad one wins and were on the wrong side of the bubble. They have
Yeah.
caught fire, and good for them because Bruce Thornton is a dog.
Yep.
Glad to see him in the tournament.
Yep. That
He
is
is
big.
a name to watch in March
He
for
is.
sure.
Yes,
And then-
absolutely.
One last thing about the Big Ten. If we look at the nightcap, it's UCLA, Michigan State. And we know what happened
Yep.
last time with UCLA, Michigan State.
Oh, yeah.
So whoever you are, that student reporter, please go find Mick Cronin again. I want to see that interview. I want to see what happens if you try and interview him. And ask him about the student section. There are no students in Chicago. I don't care. Ask him about it again. I want to see what he says. But shout out to them, and so we'll see.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the conference tournaments and kind of how they have affected the overall seeding of this bubble. And now we kind of get to talk a little bit about the bubble itself. And we're
Yeah.
going to do that kind of by talking about our conference tournament picks.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them that are still alive. There's some that are eliminated, like Liberty losing a very, very close
Thank goodness.
game. Michael hates Liberty. So he
Dude,
is
we're
very
all
happy.
wrong about that conference.
Yeah,
all of our champs
I
are
will
out.
say I'm disappointed that Western Kentucky didn't win that conference because I didn't like anybody else in that conference at all, especially not Liberty.
Who's your gut thinking they're going to win that now?
Gosh, I don't even know.
Sam
who-
Houston?
yeah, I was gonna say probably Sam Houston's. Gonna
Louisiana
take it.
Tech.
Chaos.
I think Sam Houston's probably gonna take it, but they don't excite me. They don't move me. But
Well,
we'll
they-
see. Yeah,
They had Lamar last year. Wilkerson.
Yep.
yeah, they did. That was last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, guys, there's a ton of bubble movement that has to happen still because of bid stealers.
Yeah.
And bid stealers, like I mentioned, are teams that can take away bubble spots for teams like Texas, like
Yep.
SMU.
Yep.
So these are some conference. These are serious NCAA tournament implication games
Right now.
And I cannot talk about tournament implications without mentioning the game going on right now.
Yes.
St. Louis, George Washington. Guys, it's
Big game.
bad.
Yeah,
It's bad
it-
for SMU fans right now.
Yep.
St. Louis is losing by 16
Yep.
points.
Well, right
Shocker.
now it's 13, 20 seconds left until half. But point
Oh, they
being,
hit a
double,
three, thank God.
But still double digits,
Well,
almost at halftime.
I'll
That
send
would
it.
be a big loss.
Yeah, it would be.
For
Looks like they're still
Louis.
playing like they did against George Mason.
yeah.
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 I
That
mean, yeah,
is-
like you were saying. I mean, if St. Louis loses this game, then there will be a bid stealer in the
Yeah.
A10.
And the other one
So,
is
which is
Utah
huge.
State. Utah
Yep.
State
Yep.
has to win the Mountain West.
Yes. So if you're a fan of a team on the bubble of an SMU, a Texas, a UCF, a
Missouri.
Missouri, look out for
Yeah.
the Mountain West. I know you might not like it. That's too dang bad.
You gotta watch it.
Watch the Mountain
gonna
West.
be on at
and
3 in
watch
the morning.
A10. It's amazing
And
basketball.
join me
It
in
is.
hate watching the Mountain West.
Yeah, I watched it last night all the way through. San Jose State and New Mexico ended at 12:45 in the morning. I watched it through.
And that is why we're doing a college basketball podcast.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Well, speaking of late games, my team, California Baptist, they played 10:30 tonight.
Oh my
In the
gosh.
semifinals.
ESPN Plus?
ESPN Plus.
Oh, man. That might not make the quad
I will
box.
be watching that. I'm very excited.
Michael's going to have full screen Cal
Yeah,
Baptist.
I
and we're going to have
will.
like every bubble team playing.
I will not be watching those. I am going to be locked in on Dominic Daniel Jr.
Good.
So.
Yeah. Good thing, one of us will be educated if Cal Baptist makes the tournament.
Yeah, I will be. Watch every game since November 7th. So.
I remember we were in class one
Yep.
day, and I was watching SMU Vanderbilt, and he was watching Cal Baptist.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so there
Absolutely
we go.
ridiculous. Y'all are crazy.
Yeah.
But, guys, we've mentioned it a ton already on this podcast. We're talking about the bubble.
Bubble.
It's bubble day. We got
Oh,
double
yeah.
bubble. We got bubbles. We got bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap.
It is bubble day. And I cannot start this bubble conversation without talking about a post that was put out by T3 Bracketology on Twitter, who's by far one of my favorite just creators on Twitter.
And
Anyways.
a follower of the Three Ball Podcast.
Yes, shout out to
him.
T3. So, guys, I'm going to put the graphic right here,
Yep.
and we're going to talk about it a little bit. It has 12 different metrics that he judges bubble teams by.
Okay.
And, guys, going to spread a little propaganda
Oh,
here.
here we go.
Guess who's 12 out of 12?
SMU, yep.
And officially, SMU has B.J. Edwards returning
That's
Huge.
for
huge.
the
Huge.
NCAA tournament.
No more motivational speaks, BJ. We need you on the court.
need
Yep,
you on the court.
Yep.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
we will see how that affects seeding. But some other teams I wanted to mention,
Uh-huh.
right behind SMU, Stanford, who just got their bubble popped. And we have teams like Indiana, bubble already
Gone.
popped. But we also have teams like Seton Hall, who are still hanging on.
Their
Yep.
bubble is a Seton
It's not
Hall.
even a bubble. They have to win the conference tournament.
Yeah, they're a big
Yeah.
stealer.
Yep.
And, I mean, they're still hanging on, though.
They are.
And we have teams like Oklahoma,
Yep.
that we mentioned,
Ooh,
who
now
are
that's-
super, super close.
Their bubble's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most importantly, guys, we have Auburn.
Yep.
Just lost.
Pop the whole seat.
Pop everything.
Pop it all. Because Auburn lost
Yep.
on the first. They were the first team out.
Yep.
If they had
Yep.
won against Tennessee,
Thank you, Nate Ament.
Yes.
Thank you, Rick
Yes.
Barnes.
if they had won against Tennessee,
Yep.
they would be in the tournament straight up.
Yeah.
And
We
they
don't
were-
want that.
They were up by 10 in the
were.
second half.
They were.
And guys, Nate Ament stormed back with
Yeah, he
Tennessee.
did. 19-0 run.
Popped Auburn's bubble. They are out. 17-6 in the SEC.
Go back
You
to
are
football.
out. Try 18-5 next time.
Yeah, they're just mid.
They're just not good.
Yeah.
So
The only thing Auburn's good at is scheduling.
yeah, we are happy to see that Auburn Tigers team finally fall.
That tiger.
Dead Tiger. Absolutely. And I mean, guys, I think we need to focus a little bit more on kind of the story of the bubble. I think we need to focus more on Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's for
Because
sure.
Oklahoma is literally crazy.
Yeah.
Like you really can't talk about Oklahoma. I mean, the bubble without mentioning them because of the hot streak that they're on.
Uh-huh.
What is it? They've won 8 of their last
Six
10.
out of 8.
Yeah,
out
it
of
was
8.
Their last 4 regular season games and then 2 in the conference tournament.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and these are impressive wins over
Yeah.
teams that are projected in the field.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I really don't know what's in store.
Yeah.
I know a friend of mine, Scott, is an Arkansas fan, and he was texting us that he's
Yeah.
super worried
Yeah.
about their game tonight against Oklahoma
Makes
because
sense.
this
They're
is
hot.
this is the hottest team in college basketball
Uh-huh.
right now, and honestly, if they knock Texas out of the tournament, I would not be shocked.
And that's
Yeah.
what's interesting is that looking at Lenardi's projections right now, Texas is the last team in, and Oklahoma is the first team out.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, it's also interesting because the last game of the regular season, those 2 teams played at Texas, and OU won in overtime.
And Texas
So-
won in Norman. So
And yeah, but that was earlier in the season. So I'm also curious. I don't know whether they, as far as like games later in the season, have more weight or something. But like, I am curious to see how they deal with that if Oklahoma loses to Arkansas.
I
think that's
did-
an interesting question.
yeah, I did hear Lenardi say about 10 times it's like a batting average. It's more weight. And if you get 5 hits in the baseball season in April, your batting average goes up easier. If you get 5 hits in September,
Yep.
it's harder to go up. So you got to look at the season as a whole.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, historically with the committee, it might have more value of a win in January
Yep.
than you do this week.
And that's the thing. And what the committee does and what should happen are two different things. You know,
100%.
that's the thing. That's what's
Yeah.
interesting to talk about.
And if you look at this clobber in the net, okay, 44 through 47, VCU, New Mexico, San Diego State, Oklahoma, in that order. And so that's really fascinating because you got like SMU at 37.
Yep.
You got Auburn at 39, Texas at 42, A&M at 43, VCU at 44, New Mexico at 45, San Diego State at 46, Oklahoma at 47.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a mess.
Yeah,
And to be
it
honest
is a
with you,
mess.
you look at Oklahoma, and we're talking about that T3 graphic. They have 9 of those 12 boxes checked.
They're insane.
And it's just like, what do you do?
Well,
It's
yeah.
like the human element is like, you want the hotter teams in the tournament, but the bracketology element is like, they lost 9 in a row and wanted to fire the coach.
Yep.
So, like, what do? They have no quad 3 or 4 losses. They have a road quad 1A win. They have a non-con quad 1 win. They have 4 quad 1 wins. They're 500 in quad 1 and 2 combined. Like, it's fascinating.
Yeah. And this
It
will be
is
a very interesting
fascinating.
case of like, what does the committee do with a team like Oklahoma, a team like Texas? How do they put all these resume metrics combined? Because they don't just look at one. They don't just look at
No.
Webb, or they don't just look
Unless
at
you're
net,
2025
you know,
North
so like
Carolina.
the point being that they look at so many different metrics. It will be very interesting to see if what they think is the most important.
100%.
For those two teams.
The hardest part is I feel like it changes for every team.
It does.
Like, they
It
almost
kinda
try to
does.
make excuses for who they want
Yeah.
in the tournament.
And that's also a debate of like, is this actually who should be in the tournament, or is this who they put in the tournament?
Like,
you know?
you're going to tell me the committee was up late watching the Mountain West with me last night? I don't think so.
I don't know. They have a
No way.
very early bedtime. I'm sure.
Exactly. Indianapolis is on the East Coast. That was 1:45 in the morning. There's no way. No way. There's genuinely no way.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need
And
John Rothstein on the committee.
I agree.
That's who we need on the committee.
I mean, and we always talk about these bracketologists. We always talk about Lenardi. We always talk about T3 bracketology. We always talk about these super, super popular bracketologists on Twitter. But guys, it's not their decision.
No,
At
No.
the
it's
end of
not.
the day, they can get as close as possible, but it is not their decision. And it's going to be up to the committee to meet and decide which teams are the best. And we will see what happens. And that is why Selection Sunday is one of the most
Important.
fun and important days, just not only in college basketball, but in college sports.
Yeah.
Like we are determining like
People's
history.
fate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fates.
I mean, one thing that I
Coaches
think
being
is
saved.
interesting about the bubble too is that I a lot of times look at bracket matrix, and if you don't know what that is, it's a combination of a bunch of other bracket. I think 116
More metrics.
other. Yeah, but the point being that it takes all of those and like basically says, okay, what is each team ranked? And right now, Oklahoma is just like fully out on theirs. Like they don't even have Oklahoma as a option
Was
to
that-
really make. Like they have them in one bracket of the 116. Oklahoma is currently
What's SMU?
Is SMU in?
yeah, SMU isn't. SMU is the second team in, followed by VCU. And this isn't
We're
like
ahead of
This is,
VCU?
yeah, VCU would be the last team in,
Duquesne,
according
let's
to
go
this.
Dukes.
So again, this
I
is
think
not
they're the
necessarily
Dukes.
like the answer. This is a lot of these bracketologists may not be necessarily like the best, or
Yeah.
But I think it is just interesting to get a wide spread of opinions on these teams,
Oh, yeah.
and then it averages what their seed is to kind of determine whether like it's interesting to look at.
Guys,
They,
giving us
they have
bubble
Auburn
wrap.
as the last team
Ooh.
out, or
Wait,
first
yes.
team out.
Auburn is
so
the first team out?
yes,
Makes
Guys,
sense.
giving us this bubble wrap was a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
We would just be popping.
yeah, that's
That's
true.
the point, though. A lot of the bubble's so bad, we got to pop a lot.
Okay.
I will say one thing about that is that real quick. I think it's interesting. I've heard the argument, and I mean whether it's true or not is one way or another. But like, the bubble is so bad. I feel like that's said every single
agree.
year.
That's true.
It's
And I wasn't
complainers.
at you. It's more of just like I've heard that argument be made so
Hey,
much.
I
and
agree
it
with
really
you, Michael.
bothers me.
I
you know,
agree with you.
personally. Yeah.
It's just statistically bad. That's
Yeah,
all I was
It
trying to
is
say.
No,
historically bad.
No, I just think it's interesting that is said every year. So it's
I'm
okay.
telling
What
you.
is the solution?
But
You know,
there
I
is
don't
no
know.
solution
That is-
unless you want
that's
to.
definitely not expanding the
It's
NCAA.
definitely
Definitely
not
not.
That
expanding
is.
it.
You should make it more. Inclusive.
Somebody's always going to be upset that they're left off. No matter how
Always.
many teams, no matter
Always.
what you have, someone will be upset.
Every sport, every tournament,
Every
ever.
sport, yeah.
And it's just like this is the bubble's important, but another thing that's really important, guys, is seed lines, and that's
Yes,
where a lot of
yep.
these bracketologists are really wrong because the difference between a 4 and a 3,
Yep.
ginormous,
Huge.
Because in the Sweet
Huge.
16, you got to play a 1 seed
Yep.
or you get to play a 2 seed with, and the difference between playing a 1 and a 2 this year, astronomical.
Massive difference.
And so, like, that's where, like, yes, these bubble teams obviously are going to get the most headliners, but a lot of these Twitter bracketologists, as I like to call them, where they're really wrong is the seed
That's
lines.
seeding
Yeah.
lines.
Like Louisville last year, great example, an 8, like, and they were what we thought
Demolished,
way
like
higher. And then Gonzaga, an
Yeah.
8. Like,
Yeah.
why that high? Well, because you don't know what the committee is thinking, or why that low? You don't know what the committee is thinking.
No.
And it's just sitting here, and you're like, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yep.
5 o'clock Central is gonna be interesting,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of basketball still to be played
There's a
before
lot
then.
of
There's a
basketball,
lot.
and we are going to cover all of it. And guys, I cannot be more excited for my SMU Mustangs to make the tournament. Praying. To
I really hope so.
Lord.
Oh, you guys
I
start
think
praying
they
for St.
do.
Louis.
Honestly, do
Yes.
think SMU, they should be in. Will they be in? I don't
will
know.
see.
They should be in.
We will absolutely
Yeah.
see.
Guys, I've talked more praise about Utah State than anybody in America, it feels like. Doctor gloves, student section,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
moo out. We got to get some love. Come on, Utah State.
Yes.
We need them.
Please, Utah State.
Even though you
please.
didn't pick them to win the Mountain West.
No, because no, I didn't. But I also picked not thinking that the bubble was.
Yeah.
SMU was
I,
gonna need
I
it.
thought
Yeah.
SMU was going to beat
Yeah.
Louisville.
Yeah.
Straight up, I did. So it is what it is. Because at some point, if I just picked all 1 seeds, we're going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Because I remember that I was like, let me just pick a random team.
I mean, to be fair, it is a mid-major tournament, so any
Yeah.
random team can win at any point in time.
Nevada will be tough for Utah State today.
Yes.
They've
Yeah.
got
That'll be a
they've
tough
got a
game.
squad and they're fully healthy. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
And guys, I mean, that's really all that I can think about to talk about.
That's all I
because-
can think about too. right now.
because I will say, as an SMU fan, this is kind of uncharted territory for us because we haven't been on this bubble as a Power 5
That's fair.
high major team.
Yeah.
And it's a unique position because I can understand where these teams like VCU are coming from. You could even throw
Santa Clara.
USF, Santa
Yeah,
Clara
yeah.
in there.
USF.
Teams that, USF won the American regular season and they're not even on the bubble.
SMU never did that.
Yeah.
SMU never did that. And like genuinely, I'm very happy that SMU is a Power 4 team
Shout out
or
NC
Power 5
State.
team because of the fact that
Yep.
we have an argument now.
Yeah. You get
Literally.
the privilege of being able to, have that above
The
mid-majors.
privilege to
Absolutely.
compete. Like
Yes.
we're playing Louisville,
Yes. Yeah,
Carolina. Like
absolutely.
that didn't happen 2-3 years ago.
But I understand
Yes.
these mid-majors
It
who are
sucks.
25-6 or whatever arguing against the way that this is.
No.
structured.
And to give you perspective, like let's pull up a little data. 2022 SMU, okay?
Uh-huh.
They were,
Robbed, by the way.
yeah, our record, we were 24-9,
Yeah.
and we did not make the tournament.
Nope.
Yep.
And so that sucked. And
Yeah.
Memphis, who we beat twice, was an 8 seed. So that's brutal.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can kind of see where all of these teams are coming from, but it'll still be interesting.
It's
It'll
March.
still
Yep.
be at March is always interesting. We might have a bid stealer in the A10 because St.
Yeah.
Louis is down 14 at halftime.
Wow.
We
That's
are
crazy.
gonna see so much chaos in this next week, and we are gonna cover all of it.
This is
And
March.
The next time that you see us will be on Selection Sunday.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll be.
yeah.
In 2 days' time, you will see us on Selection Sunday where we break down all of the brackets, everything that comes out.
Yep.
And guys, I cannot be more
I'm so
excited.
excited.
So excited.
Oh my gosh, March is the best time of
Of
the
the
year.
year.
And we will see what happens.
Let's go.
But for right now, let's not look ahead in the future. It's bubble day, guys.
Yeah.
Let's
It is
just
bubble
sit
day.
back, enjoy
the bubbles.
enjoy our double bubble, enjoy our bubble wrap, and enjoy our bubbles overall
Oh, that's some big bubbles.
because
That's like the whole ACC right there.
because guys, I mean, this is what's so special about
Yep.
college basketball.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we're just going to enjoy this today. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Three Ball Podcast.
God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.
God bless. We will
Alright,
see
thank you.
on Selection Sunday.
Let's go.
Let's
go.
do it, baby. 2 days. God bless.